This is Project Black Beauty. This is my 1965 Mustang. I've had the car for over 30 years now, and it is time for another major rehab. I've already got a little bit of a jump on it here by removing parts of the front clip, and as I started taking things off, I was sitting here thinking that maybe I need to document some of this stuff here, just for the purpose of the rebuild, and maybe I can show somebody a little tip or trick or something that may help them in the restoration or whatever project you're working on. So my editing skills with software is very limited, so these first couple of videos are going to be a little on the poor side, I'm afraid. So just try to stick with me here, and hopefully it'll still be entertaining for you. The next thing that we're going to be working on here is we will be removing the electrical wiring from underneath the dash, the instrument cluster, which has an aftermarket instrument cluster in it. Before we start, let me take you for a quick little walk around of the vehicle so you can kind of see the condition that it's in now, and then I'll go over some of the things that we're going to do to help improve it. Starting on this left front here, as you can see, I've already taken the front clip off, all the fenders, front valance, bumpers, and all that. The engine is still in with the supercharger and all. We're getting ready to take that out in a couple of days. All the other body panels are pretty much still on the car. You think, well, the car is really still looking pretty good shape. And it is overall, but there is some issues. Like all Mustangs, this guy right here is bad and it's starting to leak water. I did a temporary repair back in the day when I first did this car, and ended up mainly on the other side, cutting a hole here and going there and trying to patch some holes and try to fix that. And it was going to be a temporary fix, and it was. So anyway, it's going to be time to put a new cowl into this car here. The floor pans, not bad, but there's one or two spots of rust holes coming through. Time to fix it. Front end, at the moment, I have the Fat Man's coilover conversion, which has been a decent kit, but I am going to upgrade to a TCI front end and get rid of these shock towers. The rear end is a 4.9-inch, and we will be staying with the same platform. We will build another axle housing and everything for it because we plan to mini tub the car a little bit. We're going to be stepping up the horsepower on this motor, or on the car itself, with a new power plant. And this rear end here, while it would take the horsepower and torque, the tires is a limiting factor of getting a little bit bigger tire in there. So we want to be able to upgrade that. So we're also going to be doing a streeter track suspension system in it, a 3-link system. So that's in the works also, along with a lot of other cool custom little touches in the car, and we will take you along on the journey. So that's basically where we're at. So let me get set up here, and we will probably put you on fast mode here until if I see something that I'd like to spell out in a little bit more detail. When it comes to removing the dash and all, it's pretty straightforward stuff. Even though it's an aftermarket one, it still bolts into the same place. So we'll be pulling that stuff out. As you can tell, I've got a Fox body steering column in it now, and I'm trying to retain that. It's obviously for the tilt steering, and I like the cruise control buttons in the steering wheel, and I plan to put forward cruise control on this car here also, because I drive this car all over the country. It has crossed the Continental Divide 14 times. Montana, Mount Rushmore, tons of places. And I'm living here in near the Houston, Texas area. So I've put a lot of miles on it. Has a good time there. This is the current door setup on it with the Fox body armrest. I'm going to delete that this time around and kind of go back a little bit more old school, but I think it'll look real good. Hey gang, I know I said that we would be moving on to removing some electrical wiring and the harnesses from underneath the dash, but as I was thinking about the removal of this front end, I did have one issue that I had a problem with, and I wanted to address it and show you the problem that I had and how I fixed it or resolved it. But when you're removing the fender here, you will find that there is a bolt underneath here that holds the fender to this rocker. And there's supposed to be a square caged nut that is locked into this square hole underneath here. And that's what you tighten the bolt up into. Well, on both fenders, that nut would just spin. I couldn't get it to come loosen up for no reason. Well, it would loosen up. I just couldn't get it to screw all the way out. I did everything that I could think of applying pressure to the bottom of the fender while trying to back the bolt out, and it would still spin. And I couldn't figure out why. But it wasn't coming off. That fender wasn't coming off until you get that bolt out. So you either got to cut up a fender or maybe go the route that I went. And this is how I did it. Okay, this is the solution to get to that either caged nut or, in my case, my self-inflicted wound. Obviously you have to remove the inside kick panel and carpet and things of this nature so you can get down to your working spot. But on a 65, 66 car, that fender nut is located right behind this inner rocker panel, right up in here. Now I've taken careful measurements, and basically what happens is, if you look at your hinge, I don't know if I can get in here and get you a picture of the hinge. This hinge plate in here, you got the 3 bolts that hold on the lower hinge. The nut that's furthest forward is directly in line with the nut that holds that fender on, and this is on the 65, 66 cars. Okay, so I just dropped a little plumb bob down there to get me a line for my 2 1/4 inch hole saw to make an access hole here. So we are going to drill an access hole there. Let me get you lined up here. Drill an access hole there so that we can get on it with a pair of channel locks or vice grips or a wrench of some sort. Disregard all that crappy wiring. It's all coming out, going to be redone. So anyway, let's get to drilling. Back up. Let's put a little bit of oil on that. Just using motor oil here, but cutting fluid would be good, threading fluid.
look at that. Oh, you may not be able to see it. Let me move this drill out the way. Then let me come around. Let's move this light out your way. Yep, there it is right there. See how I stuck that washer up in there? I was able to fish the nut up in there and then put the washer and then fish the bolt into it and sucked it down real quick with an impact wrench. 25 years later, here I am, screwed. Okay, so what I'm going to end up doing now, god dang it, made a little cut there. I'm going to put some spray lube on there and then I'll be able to get onto that nut and zip it off. Okie doke. Let's see. There's that. Able to unscrew it by my fingers even, but it would just sit there and spin and spin. Okay, and we're out. I don't know if it was just I was inexperienced at the time, or didn't know, or they didn't make it. Again, that was, you know, over 25 years ago when I did this, and I don't even know if that caged nut was available on the market at the time, and that's why I ended up going this route. They are available now, and I'll be going back with that now also. So anyway, that's how I did it.
Hey gang, this is all I have for you on this video here. In the next episode here, we will be taking the motor out of the Black Beauty here. Friends and family coming over this weekend, and we're going to get it out. So until then, stay safe, stay alert, stay alive.